Hello, dear church family. It was so good for 12 of us to meet in person for the first time in 3 months this past Sunday evening. 6 met in the back garden, led by Deacon Michael, and I led an additional 6 in the front. It was a simple but sweet time of Bible reading, study, and discussion. If anyone is minded to scoff at the idea of 12 people gathering, just know that it was that precise number of people who Jesus called to be his close disciples. In other words, when 12 people gather around Jesus and Jesus equips them and sends them out, it can have world-changing implications. We will meet again this Sunday, and this time we're prepared to have as many as 3 groups. It is essential that you let us know in advance, though, so that we can ensure that you have a space. Most excitingly, we can now confirm, in light of government guidance, that we will be able to meet for gathered Sunday worship next week, the 5th of July. That's right, next Sunday. One member of Parliament clarified that for church services there is no maximum number within a place of worship that is in view, as long as the premises comply with COVID-secure guidelines. More detailed guidance is expected soon, and I will be meeting with Elder Charles tomorrow to discuss next steps. That said, precise details will be outlined in a video I will send next week. Do go ahead and pencil in next Sunday, though. The question some of you may be asking, is it safe? I believe as a church we have been voluntarily very cooperative with the government through this season. And in the same way that we accepted the wisdom in not gathering, we must have a measure of trust that the danger has sufficiently subsided for us to be allowed to resume gathering. Indeed, the situation as it now stands in London is better than when all of us last gathered on a Sunday on the 15th of March, and the smaller gathering that we had of less than 10 on the 22nd of March. Since then, London became the worst hit area in the nation, with a mortality rate a third higher than any other region. There have been in the greater London area 6,085 deaths where the patients tested positive for COVID-19. Deaths where COVID-19 was mentioned on the death certificate were, however, substantially lower, at 195. Yesterday's update from the mayor's office noted 3 people who tested positive for the virus, and no one had COVID-19 on their death certificate yesterday. In short, the numbers are plummeting, the reproduction rate has fallen, and the data is encouraging. That is not to say that we should be careless or complacent, but to say that we can take courage. At the moment, each person should decide for themselves what they can and should do. If you decide that you are too vulnerable to join us next week, then that is your decision. Likewise, if you decide to gather, that is your decision, but please make it responsibly, practicing good hygiene and common sense. Let's commit all these things to the Lord, who is in control over this crisis, who has been there to comfort us through this crisis if we have drawn near to him, and who will continue to pursue his eternal saving purposes through this crisis and into the aftermath. May the Lord be with you, bless you, and help you. I hope to see a good number of you on Sunday this week for the small groups, and if not, then next week.